Welcome back, everybody, to Shawn and Celeste Level Talk Show. Test episode number 4, where we still don't have a name, but we're working on it. We're going to talk about hobbies today. But first, let me introduce us. I'm Shawn.
I'm Celeste.
And we're here to chat. We need a new catch line.
You need to move that damn thing off the
But
table.
first, let's make some announcements. Yes, I know, my vibrating phone was... Bzzz. I hope you guys can hear that. In our announcements this week, we are getting in some groovy things. Me and Celeste decided we're going to start school again. I'm going to go to ITT Tech.
Yay, school!
Yay! And we start in June, June 15th, I believe. And we will be learning about computers to enhance our knowledge. I am going for electrical engineering, which will be fun. Good stuff. I can tinker with things on a more professional level. I'm still receiving text messages from this group. It's vibrating in my dick, Celeste.
Not bad.
Also, I started a pool league. Scratch that, back up. What are you going to school for?
I was going to mention that. Well, shit, now that you mention it. Software development. That's what it was. Software development. Yeah. It should be fun. All programming, apps, just different kind of software stuff. Like, when I say software, I hope you all know programs on the computer. You know, not hardware. It should be fun. They said when you go for the bachelor's, hacking is a part of it, so that's probably one of the things I'm most excited about.
Get LifeLock.
Get LifeLock.
She's coming for you.
Beware.
Okay. Now, also, I started an in-house pool league at a bar here in town called Noreen's. It is a Pittsburgh Steelers bar. If anybody are Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I know I am. And that's just because, well, excuses. But haters gonna hate. I love it. Enjoy. But I start that. It's on Tuesdays, so that'll be something I get to mention to you guys. I will be posting up my scores each week. We do 6 rounds. It's teams of 3. I believe there's 6 teams, and you play a total of 6 games. You get to play everyone on the other team twice. So I'll be posting up my scores along with my whether my team wins or loses that day. So you guys can kind of keep track of my full progress.
If there is indeed progress.
Well, progress or degress, whatever. Also, you should be seeing a picture right about now. I won a tiny jam box. This is a badass little device. It's got some beef to it. It's by Jawbone, and I won it at a local convenience store by buying Rockstars. Who knew? So that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll put in a clip right here somewhere. You can hear it play. So that'd be cool.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I could love without you, but I really don't need to. 'Cause leaving is the hardest thing to do. But being left is harder, yes it's true. But you're coming back. How do I get back to you? How can I get back to you?
Anyway.
Wireless.
Let's move on. Last week we announced we had an email address that you guys could email questions to me. Questions to her, me. I normally check them and go through them, but we didn't really get anything. I know we're new, but come on, guys, girls, send us an email. I know I posted that. It was there at 2119productions@gmail.com. Don't let me down. I need to hear what you want us to talk about. We like to incorporate the audience,
Yes.
the listeners at hand.
Precisely.
Yes. So, by all means, we would have put email questions in right here, but there were none. So, we're going to go to Celeste. Do you have a question?
Oh, and I have a question.
Exactly. Why we need your questions.
I gave you a question, goddammit.
And my answer was to them. Exactly why we need you guys to email us with some questions.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's funny. Anyway, we're moving on. Today, we're talking about hobbies. We're just going to brief through some of the hobbies we like. So, I mean, we mentioned going to school. It's not really a hobby, that's more of an education, but we're doing it in a field that we like to hobbyize. And yes, that's my word, trademarked by Shawn. Hobbyize. And do. So, I mean, going into computers and stuff at IT Tech is a great way to expand stuff we already like to do. I mean,
Oh yeah.
tinker with our computers, make them all fancy. And I mean, like parts, faster processors, more memory, better graphic card, sound card, and also programming, getting all the little shit done, making it run the way you want it to.
Yeah, it'll be
Even,
nice for personalization and whatnot, and just
yeah,
ways to get it going the way we actually want it to be going.
yeah. Even the little stuff. I mean, little things that people don't ever pay attention to, like when you start up Windows. And I know some of this stuff is quite easy. I've done it before, but like starting up Windows, changing the startup tunes, just things like that, getting more in depth with it is always nice. It'd be good to customize. So that'll be something we're working on. But let's talk about hobbies. You want to begin with something you like to do on the daily?
Well, see, my hobbies are always just pastimes because more often than not, I come home from work and I'll sit on my phone for a while, maybe play a game on my phone for a little bit, and then it's like I've got bills to look at, I've got something to look up on the computer, I've got food to make. It's like it just never ends. I don't get much free time for a hobby, so my pastime when I'm waiting is usually video games or watching TV,
Oh,
Netflix.
no true hobbies, huh?
Not
Well,
really.
she does like
I was knitting for a while.
yes, knitting. That's where
That
I was
one,
going.
now that one was fun, and I kind of do want to get back into that again, but it's like I have to have the free time to do it.
Well, you have the free time. I think you just need to set a time. Maybe not set a time, but whenever you're feeling down, you're just doing something else. Just
Well,
sit down and do it.
well, not to mention, it's easier for me if I've got it sitting right next to me. If I have it like right within plain sight, I'm more likely to walk over, pick it up, and sit down and just start messing with it. As it is, it's all hidden away in a drawer somewhere in our room, and I don't think of it. It's out of sight, out of mind. So I want to, and I think about it maybe like at work every once in a while. But other than that, I mean, I come home and I see all these other things that I need to do, and it goes right out of my head.
Well, soon enough, we'll catch up on everything, and you can possibly do that without fear.
Yeah.
You know, so that'll be something you get into. I started working out again, and instead of working out in the apartment here, I actually get to go over to Grandma's house and use my punching bag and the pool and get a lot of good work out of that. I started doing a good hour workout a day.
Gives you a lot more options.
Yeah. So except for today, it started raining and we had some painting to finish up. I finished painting that bedroom, like I said. There might be some minor touch-ups we have to do later, but it looks good. It's all covered wide. There's no more of our dirt on the walls from when we lived there. So painting was fun, and yeah, I got back into working out. It's I think it's good. I get to use my little jam box, blast through the whole backyard. It's quite loud for a you know 5-inch speaker, and it's not even the speaker's like 2 inches a piece, but the whole box itself is like 5 inches.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's tiny, but it does kick out some good sound. I love the way that the bass is actually like legitimate bass.
Yeah.
It's not like when you have earphones in and you can kind of feel a little bit of it reverberating in your ears. It's with this thing, like it quite literally will jump across the table. Maybe not jump, but
Well, it doesn't jump, but it's definitely got a good bass there that there's a warning on the label, and I've actually experienced this already.
uh huh.
It vibrates itself off the table.
Yeah, that was
If you
funny.
have it up a decent amount, it goes and just slowly moves itself away from wherever it was. So I'm always putting stuff in the way of it now, which is fun. Good stuff. Another thing you mentioned video games and watching shows. I think those are great pastimes, and I mean, video games can be a hobby. I mean,
Sometimes it kind of
sometimes,
depends.
yeah, it depends. Like me being an achievement whore, I really like getting achievements on Xbox. So that's kind of like a hobby to me. Like, all right, you know what? Today I'm gonna get like 3 achievements, and it's a good struggle and works out your brain, makes you do things. I mean, some achievements are, all right, I got 3. I just started the game and there's 3 achievements. Thanks for signing in. But I like it. Sometimes they're a challenge. It gives me a little, and then don't play it forever. Just sit there, grab the achievements, hobbyize, and enjoy the game. Don't just play for that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. And shows are always good. I like shows now, like comic book shows. I like a lot. Like we've been watching Arrow. I want to start watching The Flash and Gotham. I watch Agents of Shield. I'm start watching Agent Carter. All great. I love seeing more expandings of, and you know, some stuff that leads in or that is in the comics that adds up to it. So it's kind of cool to see.
It's nice to see it all tie together.
Yeah,
I think that's like my favorite thing about certain movies or TV shows is seeing different ones tie in together
yeah,
and reference one another. Because then it's just like, oh my god, like it's not so much a matter of it's two separate shows. It's like it's two separate sides to the same damn story.
yeah.
So I really like that
One
expanding.
universe, 2 different heroes, 3 different heroes, whatever. Like if you guys watched Ultron, Age of Ultron, The Avengers was freaking brilliant.
No spoilers.
Um, no spoilers, but if you can watch Agents of Shield, it ties into it. Agents of Shield and all the old movies, everything. Just watch it and pay attention. I mean, I kind of like that. It's pretty cool,
Yeah.
and you get to learn a lot. So something you gotta pay attention to. Even you have to watch episodes a couple times so you understand. If you're a comic book nerd like I is, it'd be a great thing for you to do.
Yeah.
Like when I read the Gears of War books, which I still need to finish that last one. I think I'll put that out there and read it. Gears of War, another book that's great. Another book that's great. Why did I say another book? A book that series that's great. uh, um, so video games and TV shows, even watching some movies. I mean, I wouldn't consider those in a hobbyized way,
Yeah, they're
but
more just ways to pass the time
pastimes.
by.
But like I said, they're good ways to pass time. I mean, what is a hobby? Something you enjoy to pass time.
And it's something that's a little more productive though. Like it's you.
Like I said, earning achievements.
Yeah, it's you working towards a goal with something.
Yeah,
With TV, it's like my goal is finishing the episode for whatever reason.
yeah, finishing the series.
So it's not quite the same.
No, I mean, I can't justify it. You guys all know it, but I like watching the shows that just so I can learn more about the characters that I grew up with, know, and love. So I mean, that's kind of another way you can look at it instead of just I'm watching a show and I just want to get through it because the show's awesome and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I think with the comic book shows, so on and so forth, you get to connect more with the character, learn about them a little bit more,
They
and see
definitely
different
go a little
stories.
more
So
in depth with
it
everything.
like if you collect comic books as a hobby and you read them, that can tie in watching these shows. And I mean, there's other shows like Once Upon a Time. I mean, that's a good show because I've always been into Disney. I mean, who isn't? Disney.
This isn't even just Disney though.
No,
They
it's not.
incorporate a lot of different things in there.
Yeah,
It's mostly the old time fairy tales.
fairy tales. Yeah. Um,
They just discovered a whole bunch more in a different country. I don't remember which one, but
really.
it might have more product now.
Throw in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. Um, Game of Thrones is different. I don't read any books or anything like that, so can't say. But Walking Dead was a comic series, and so I mean, like I said, if you collect comics and watch these shows, boom.
But it's interesting because as far as The Walking Dead and the comic series and everything, they deviated so much on certain areas. Like, I
Well,
think Daryl wasn't supposed to be in the.
well,
Daryl's not in the comics at all.
I heard that the producer or the writer or whoever it was wanted it to
Yeah.
differ so much that way you weren't just watching the comics come to life. You actually got a whole nother story, like a separate
Yeah.
parallel way that things went.
And that way they wouldn't just be.
That way you weren't bored and you knew what was coming.
Yeah,
That way he
exactly.
can have the twist on it.
That's just like, I guess, the most recent Game of Thrones. Not going to ruin anything, but what happened in it wasn't supposed to happen, or it didn't happen in the books. So they said they don't know which direction they're taking that. Calm yourself.
And the hookah goes down. We'd have friends that would bring down the whole hookah and the coals, and maybe even throw the coals on people, but we won't get into that. So me just
you know who you are.
Me just bouncing them around and they stayed on the bowl. I think I'm okay.
So bad.
Would you consider smoking hookah a hobby?
No.
No.
Not at all. No.
No, you
That is
couldn't. You
most
couldn't be
definitely a pastime, possibly a social event.
You
but...
couldn't. You couldn't say hookah is like you're a hookah enthusiast or something.
Maybe if I was like hardcore into trying every single flavor and every single flavor combination, like really judging the quality of it.
Yeah, but then you'd only take what 6 months and you'd be done.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you started making flavors.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Mixing flavors, figure out which combinations would be good.
That's what I mean.
But
I guess you take longer than
no, but I still don't think that's a hobby.
Well,
you can say you're a
poo.
You can say you're a food enthusiast and that you eat a lot of food to try to taste it all, but that's not.
I eat a lot of food. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's not a hobby.
Food is a hobby. Food is the secret to life. You eat when you're bored. It's a hobby.
Whatever you say.
I remember growing up, my mom used to tell me that. I was like, "Oh, I'm hungry." No, you're just bored. But my stomach's rumbling. You're bored. Oh. I heard that one quite a bit.
Poor Shawn.
Fun stuff. Speaking comic books, nerdy things. What about Magic the Gathering? Do you consider that a hobby?
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on how you look at it and how you play it. Like, there are people I know who took it so freaking seriously that they would watch the tournaments online and they would play the card game all the time and they would be, trading online with all these people, net decking and all that, and just they turned it into the kind of hobby where they wanted to keep up with everything as it was coming out and just
Kind of made
was
it not fun because they were just so
it was almost
competitive.
obnoxiously obsessive.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean, yeah, if you're a collector and you like to collect cards like me, I have a real problem letting go of some cards because I'm like, oh my god, do I have doubles of that? I can't.
Yeah.
I need to keep one. And
I do the same thing.
that's why I let you be in charge of sometimes trading. Like, hey, do you need these? Okay, I just gotta let go. I enjoy playing. I think it's a fun pastime also, gaming. I guess we can call this episode Hobbies and Pastimes.
I know, right?
But I think it's fun. I enjoy it a little more than you because you get burnt out a little faster.
Oh, yeah.
I know some of the people we play with now, even back then, we got easily beaten. A lot of people, I think the point is to be competitive. I mean,
Well, yeah.
enjoy yourself, but that's the whole point of playing. Is like, oh, how can I beat this guy next? You want to beat your friend so you can laugh at him later, but at the same time, you want to enjoy yourself. So when somebody goes and plays just for the win, and if they're enjoying it because they're winning, and they're not like
They're not enjoying it by trying to see how they can win or trying a different strategy or
yeah,
maybe
they always use the same type. Just like, all right, quick to the win, quick to the win, quick to the win.
Exactly.
Then it's kind of like, okay, you know what? It's not that fun playing with you because we don't really get to. I want to play. When I play Magic, I want to play and let the game last for a little bit. Like, do a build up, because no country starts off with, spears and says, "I'm gonna take out the other spears." 'Cause you all have spears. So when you got a guy who's like, "Well, I started the game with a machine gun. I'm sorry." But I mean, I guess all's fair who advanced first, but I don't know. I kind of like the build up. I like overkill. I'm definitely.
Well, the build-up is fun because then your opponent has a chance to try building up against you, and then it's a matter of wits of figuring out, okay, if I strike now, are they going to have a counter attack? Are they going to be able to, like, take all the hit and be able to swing back at me and kill me in one move? Like, it becomes much more of a game of calculating and trying to strategize. It's almost like chess. You got to plan your next move and make sure that's not going to screw you over. Whereas if you've got an ultimate strategy for winning right off the get-go, then it's just a speed run. That's all it is.
Yeah, you're just adding a number to your wins. You're not even
Exactly.
really. I mean, some people do. You enjoy the win. You just enjoy going, I won again. Ha, I won again. Ha, I won again. But I mean, it's no fun if you're not losing because then you don't change anything. You don't improve. You don't. You're not, and you're not let the other person's definitely gonna want to quit sooner or later because they're just like, I'm never gonna beat you. I don't want to play.
Exactly.
That's why there were some people. I mean, I play because I'm like, okay, I'll play. But then there's some people I'm just like, what, fuck it, I don't want to play right now or at any time because it's just like I hate losing. Nobody likes to lose, but everyone likes to win. So letting someone else win because I know they're gonna win is cool, but I only do it so often. I can't do it forever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Magic can be a hobby if you're a card collector. I mean, you could collect Pokemon cards. You can collect baseball cards.
Yeah.
Anything you want. I think it's a hobby slash pastime, especially if you play with them. I guess.
Yeah.
So
It kind of just depends on how you utilize them and
yeah.
how much importance you put in them.
So Magic's cool. That's a fun thing for me anyway. Um, let's talk about geocaching.
That one was fun when we were doing it. We were actually keeping up with it.
Yeah, we actually got started in geocaching because some buddies back home were doing it, and we never got the invite for joining up with their team, I guess you could say, and representing here in Vegas what they're doing. Like, oh yeah, we got people in Vegas doing it. So we decided, you know what, we're gonna counterattack, and we created our own team. And then
Like,
we smoked the competition.
yeah, it was a little bit easier on our end because we only had two people to worry about doing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even then they could have separated and done
That's
smaller.
true.
Anyone could have done it and got more. But as far as it goes, I mean, I think we're pretty good lead, which we need to get back into. If anybody knows what that is, it's a great. I think that's a good hobby.
Oh
You
yeah.
get outdoors, you get to wander around, and
Exactly. You get to even like familiarize yourself with your area depending on how many are hidden in your area and maybe you might have to travel out of town, but I mean, gives you an excuse to go somewhere different.
yeah,
You need to
you
go
know,
check out streets or check out parks wherever it might be. And you
hiking trails,
Oh yeah.
anywhere you want, man. Download the app, geocaching.
It is definitely easiest if you have a smartphone that you can use the GPS for.
Exactly, I think it's cool because if you get the free version of the geocaching app, you get you just get in your little bubble like five around you that you can access. So as you move around, you know, five different ones will pop up or something. If you use it on your laptop or computer, you actually get to see all of them. So it's kind of a like, okay, let's plan to go in this area. When you get there, turn on your app and say, okay, we're in the range of these.
Yeah.
And it tells you like if you're tracking it, it'll ping you at like close to 30 feet or something.
Oh yeah.
Like you're within 30 feet of this geo. So I think that's fun.
Yeah, and if you can't, like, if you've been searching and searching and searching and can't find it, a lot of times if you look at the comments, they don't necessarily spoil it for you because they're all really good natured. They're not jerks. They're not going to just show you a picture of exactly where it's at or tell you exactly where it's at. But they'll give little hints. They'll say, oh, it got wet, and you'll know it's somewhere on the ground, you know? So they do say little things here and there that make you think, okay, like, it's almost like a riddle. You have to solve exactly what you're trying to find or just get clues from what they're saying, but that makes it more fun that way, I think. So we do need to get back into that though. I think there's like a whole string of geocaches right along the street that we're neighbored on.
We'll go check those out.
The ones on St. Rose.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. Well, they're supposed to be lined up both sides of the street.
Oh really? So
The last time I looked, yeah.
we just go park and walk up and down.
We don't even have to park anywhere. We could just go walk right now. Screw it, we're going.
And we're back. Man, we found a lot of geocaches right now out there on St. Rose. Beautiful.
Pictures later.
Pictures never, because we actually just sat here and laughed. Anyway, um, what's a yeah? I'm drawing a blank on what I should talk about right now. I've been getting into writing lyrics again. I think it's pretty cool. I've been a lot of inspirational songs out lately, doing some great stuff, different bands. Um, it's been inspiring to write stuff, so
Oh yeah.
I think that's cool.
Well, it's always a fun creative outlet when you get to do stuff like that because, you know, you get ideas in your head as you go throughout the day, and once you start jotting them down on paper, a lot of times, and not all the time because you get writer's block, but A lot of times you start writing something down and all of a sudden something else comes to your head, something else comes to your head, and
It
then you
just
start.
starts to just build and build, and you just start flowing.
That's why I really, really miss um, writing stories or typing stories on my laptop, because that was one of my favorite things to do. Wasn't necessarily typing them, but coming up with stories and then trying to come up with the mechanics justifying how it could actually be real, or coming up with the logic to make sense of it. So like I would always get into fantasy and stuff like that, and it was just nice to be able to be like, okay, so how do these guys do this, and how do these guys turn into this, and what's the background, what's the history, all that other stuff.
Good in depth
Yes, it's fun,
background.
and hardly any of it ever makes it on paper. It's all in my head.
It's all in my head. Everyone
I don't
knows
know where
I'm
you were going with the first
in
one.
my head. Oh, okay. Well, fuck me too then. Yeah. Also, on that, I've been playing with another beat maker on my phone, ladies and gentlemen. I know some of you know that I had some software on my or on my computer a while back before it crashed, where we'd try to make some music, and I showed you guys some stuff with my phone that I had made, which was I thought was decent for first off stuff. And then I factory reset my phone, lost everything, and so now I have a new one that I'm working on and trying that. So hopefully, maybe I can put a demo up at some point and have you guys listen to the Shawn style.
It would be nifty.
Nifty. I like nifty. That's a good word, nifty. I always use that word.
I only remember it because I'm sorry, we're about to get into a really nerdy subject. Because in World of Warcraft, when I was playing with my friends and we were all part of a guild, we started editing each other's info section, and someone called my character the Swifty Nifty. I thought it was
The
hilarious.
Swifty Nifty. That was your Night Elf Hunter?
That was, yeah, my Night Elf Hunter.
Huh. Never been in too many guilds in World of Warcraft.
Except for the one we made.
The
That never
Chivers.
got anywhere.
The Chive World of Warcraft Guild.
Uh,
Members 3.
there wasn't just three. There were multiple, secondary and extra characters we had.
Okay, I'm sorry. 3 players that all had different characters in it.
That one.
World of Warcraft, man, that's a pastime and a half.
That's a
Some
life
people,
consumer.
life consumer. Some people consider it a hobby, I guess, but it's like, ooh.
No.
There's achievements and you can collect stuff, but then
Yeah.
like you suck your life away.
Oh yeah, it definitely takes
Like
a lot
it's
of
like
time.
women, man. They just suck. It sucks out your soul.
Excuse the shit out of you.
I did that earlier. Every time before we start the show, I like to go take my rounds in the bathroom. I drop a number 2 and
And this is when I have all the doors closed and the air running and making sure that it's not going to seep in here because it's right across the hallway.
well, shit. Every time, it's never ceased to fail. I'll be sitting here waiting to start the show, and then right before we start, hold on, gotta go. I like taking craps, man. I'm a speed. I like to speed through my crap sometimes. Like I can get in there and get it done.
That's not a hobby.
No, it's not. But what I'm getting to is when you're on the toilet or you're using the restroom, and I mean not for men, I guess when they pee, but you can get on your phone, and if you don't take your phone in there, this is growing up. People take their phone in there now, and they'll do all kinds of stuff. I got to tweet that I'm pooping or something.
Do a selfie on the
Poop
toilet.
selfies to your friends.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's funny because back in the day before cell phones, there was some people had Game Boys on the pooper. But before, you'd go in there and maybe you'd read a newspaper or something, and it was just so more self time, like
oh yeah.
now it's selfie time on the pooper. But
now it's social media while you're taking a shit.
yeah, like I'm about to go to the club, but right now I'm pooping. So I think it's kind of retarded, but at the same time, back in the day, I kind of like throwing my phone like out on the bed and then just sit there and maybe not too long. I don't want to sit there and absorb the smells into my whole body, so I'm walking around like a stink cloud, but it's good to sit there and think for a little bit. It's your space. Nobody can rush you when you're on the toilet. That's just how it is.
I don't know why that reminds me of that thing I saw a while back about how guys have that ability when they're thinking or when they're just sitting there. They have the ability to completely switch off in their head. They have the ability to not think of anything and just draw blanks and relax. Women, on the other hand, always have something on their minds. You can try to space out and not think of anything all you want, but there's always something. There's always something you're worrying about, something you're stressing about, and just, I don't know, just reminded me of that. So whenever I'm sitting on the pooper,
When you're sitting on the pooper.
I'm
Oh, here
sitting
we
on the
go.
pooper, I'm thinking about, okay, have I paid all the bills this month? What do I need to do around the house? God damn it, I still need to do this, and I still need to do that. Well, if I want to go to work, is this account going to be okay? Am I going to be able to make it through another fracking day? Just,
See, when men are on the pooper, it's kind of like when men are in the shower. When we got that water, like there's 5 minutes of men washing their body. That's it. Like we go, whoosh, 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 we're done. And then the other 25 minutes we're in the shower, if we're in that long, we're sitting there thinking about how far does the universe go?
you start getting philosophical.
We start thinking about life, universe, and everything. So it's where do aliens come from?
The time when I'm most likely to space out, unfortunately, is at work. I'll be sitting there and I'll be typing and I'll be trying to do something.
She's kidding anybody from West Star that's listening.
I'll be sitting there and I'll be typing and all of a sudden, like, I'm hearing the music and I'm paying attention to what I'm doing and all of a sudden I snap back into it and I realize that I've been staring off into space for the last 3 minutes. And I'm like, where did I just go?
I do that too with some things like work and whatnot, and it's really weird because I'll space out. And my work, you got to keep moving. You're mowing, you're trimming your edge, all this other stuff. So it's like when I space out and I come back, I'm like, did I finish that last house?
I just had the image in my head of you running a lawnmower into the fence and you're just standing there trying to make it go.
No, I get it. I guess I can't say I space. I do space, but it's like it turns on autopilot, and I'm still doing the work, but I'm not there.
Well, see, as dangerous as it is, I kind of tend to do that sometimes when I'm driving. And it's not in the worst of
I
ways,
think
like, I'm
everybody does that when they're driving, because once you've been driving for so long and whatnot, and I mean, some people probably don't, but it's just something that happens. You kind of just zone and you autopilot it, and I've been there.
and then you're at a stoplight and you're like, wait, what happened for the last, like, 3 blocks? What
I'm
the
glad I
hell?
stopped. I'm glad this light's yellow
I had
now.
a moment when we first came here where I was driving and my mind was back at home. I was thinking of the streets back home and I was like, oh, where would I be driving? What's the equivalent of this street that I'm on? And I was on Eastern and I was like, I'm like picturing in my head what street is similar, what street I would be thinking of, and I'd be like picturing it in my head, but I'm still driving and I'm still paying attention to the road. It's just a subconscious thing. But the forefront of my mind was like I could picture exactly what streets where I would turn off if I was going every which way or whatever. And all of a sudden I snapped back into it and I was like, where the fuck am I?
This is not Gear Road.
I didn't recognize Vegas anymore. I didn't recognize where I was for a moment. It legitimately scared me for a second, and then I snapped out of it, and then I was like, "Oh, okay."
Some people drive as a hobby. They like to drive and
Oh yeah.
explore. And I think that's cool. I like to drive sometimes, just get out there and cruise, because then you, like I said, it's the same thing about pooping and showering almost sometimes for me. Because when you're driving and you just think about it, and you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm just gonna cruise. You turn up the stereo a little bit, and you just sing along to songs, and you just let yourself go for a little bit, and come back and be like, all right, now I gotta get back to the real world.
I used to like it a lot more before we moved here, and there were a bunch of idiots driving around in this town.
Oh, this town sucks for people who drive.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, Vegas, but you're a bunch of idiots.
Well, the biggest issue with
All
people
of
in
you.
Vegas is that they don't pay attention and they do not care. They can see you coming from a mile away and they can tell you're gunning it, they can tell you're approaching at full speed, and they'll still pull out right in front of you just expecting, oh, they're going to stop for me anyway. They have absolutely no regard for other people on the road. And I can't tell you how many accidents I've been hearing of just in these past couple of weeks where someone ends up getting killed because someone else decided to pull out in front of them.
Like a retard.
Yeah.
I know. It's like earlier this morning, I was heading to work, and this bus had pulled up next to me. And one lane was a turn lane, one lane was a straight lane. And I was about 2 or 3 cars back from the front of the line. And this bus gets up in the turn lane. And then like when you cross the road, there's a merge lane. Like so when people turn right, they can slowly merge into the
Yeah.
one lane. And there's a school zone. So this school bus is sitting there, and it just takes off at a green light and gets behind the first car, cutting off the second car.
Oh my god.
I was like, You're in a school bus.
Come
You
on.
have kids in the bus. You're acting like an idiot. What? I mean, you could have got behind everyone else like you should have, and just got the same. He pulled up to the school that was right there. I was like, what was the difference between 10 seconds?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And that's just like I was texting you earlier today. I'm driving along during my lunch, and all of a sudden I notice this bus, and it's like a charter tour bus, is right up behind me. And I was like, what the hell? Why is this guy so close to me? And I look in my rearview mirror, and I can see everything he's doing, and he's on his goddamn phone. And I could quite literally just see it right there in his hand, and he puts it between his, his face and his shoulder, and he's just like holding it there with his shoulder, and then he grabs it with the other hand and holds it like this. Meanwhile, he's just switching hands, and I'm watching all this in my rearview mirror because he's so fucking close. And I about had a heart attack because I was like, if I had to stop, if I had to stop on my brakes for any reason, he would have annihilated me. Because
Annihilated?
there was no space. He was right there. It was pissing me off, and he finally stopped when he noticed that I was glaring daggers at him through my fucking rearview mirror because I was like, dude, get off your phone. I would, if I wasn't on my lunch and I had the time to, I would have totally just taken the time to find his fucking license number and report him to his own goddamn company.
Yeah, you should. That's something we should all be doing. Don't whip out your phones and take pictures, but report people, man. Driving on your phone is the dumbest thing. Driving on your phone, yes. Run it over. You by all means put it under your car and run it over. But driving while talking on the phone, there's a reason there's a law that says you need a hands-free device.
Yeah, I don't care how skilled you think you are at driving and talking on the
Because
phone or
you're
even
not.
driving and texting. Yeah, no. Your reaction time is always, always, always slower. And you could get into so many accidents. You can endanger somebody's life that way. It's not
Yeah.
worth it.
It's retarded. Like I know people that do it constantly. So when I'm in the car with them, I'm like, I make fun of them, I talk bad about them, and then because no one listens to me, like, oh, I'm fine, I did it, I won't look at the road. I won't even pay attention to them. I'll get on my phone, look down in the passenger seat, and I'll just be like, you know what? If you're not gonna pay attention to the road, I'm not gonna pay attention to you, the road, or anything else. If you hit somebody or hit something, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
End of story. Because that's just retarded.
Yeah. There's no excuse for that. And
Anyway, I think we're getting a little off topic.
I'll find
No, finish your story real quick. We'll finish yours, and then we'll
that. No, because now
go back to
I lost it already.
go back to hobbies and pastimes instead of endangering drivers.
I lost it, though. Go for it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You lost it.
Yes. You want to move on? Come on, let's move on.
No, I'm waiting.
No, you just
You seemed
can't think of
no, you seemed upset. No, I'm really waiting because you seemed upset that I cut you off.
No, I was just talking about some lady was pulling out of a fucking parking lot and she was on her phone, and it's like, if you're right there in the parking lot, why the fuck would you get back on the road while you're still on your phone?
Yeah.
People just make dumb decisions.
Vegas, you're retarded.
Get your shit together.
All of you. Anyway, oh, what was I thinking? I think a good hobby is going to concerts. I love going to concerts. Like ever since I was little, I think that's one of the things I used to say I lived for. Like, you know what? That's the only reason I go to work is so I can pay bills and go to concerts.
And it's funny because we're in like the perfect town to be doing that sort of thing.
We're in the perfect town to go to concerts, but everything's way too freaking expensive in this town.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the things we want to do, like I want to start going to the PK gym in this area. That'd be a cool hobby to get into, a workout while doing some PK. Maybe fix my back up a little bit. I think that would be good. And doing PK, actually, parkour is a good hobby.
Keeps you in shape.
Keeps you in shape, keeps you limber, athletic, moving. We were doing it for a while here. We found a decent park to practice at and just to fool around. I ain't trying to go into competitions or anything, but I think it's a fun thing. You get out there, you work up a sweat, and you come home and take off your clothes.
I was happy the last time we went because I actually noticed some improvement with myself and everything, but then it's like we just never went back after that.
Yeah, well, once you start improving, I gotta say, oh, nope, can't do it no more. I'm sorry.
I know.
But we should get back out there now that it's starting to warm up. I know we've had some breezy and rainy days, but we should get back out there.
Yeah, definitely.
If you don't know what parkour is, Parkour, check it out. Parkour originated in some foreign country. The art of running away.
The art of running away. It's put so eloquently. How could I resist?
Exactly.
Uh.
So, this is going to be a shorter episode because, I mean, can't really talk about a lot of episodes. And we're already on some odd minutes. But we like to discuss our hobbies. We really didn't have a big topic this week because nothing really exciting happened on this week. We're hoping to change that next week and do some exciting stuff, or just find a more intriguing subject, I guess, because that would be nice too. That's why we want your suggestions. I gave you the email address at 2119productions@gmail.com.
Hint, hint.
And if you didn't hear her, hint, hint. Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to be subtle. So, we want to know in the comments, or I guess you could email us with these answers.
Whatever floats your boat.
We hardly got any review last back, and our diminishing views from these videos seem to be awesome. We went from like 60 to 30 to 15 or something weird like that, but they just keep cutting in half. Share this video, subscribe, like, comment. I like all those items. But let's get to the topic question. What are hobbies that you like to do? What do you enjoy doing for your pastime? What is something you want to do? Um, Share it. Let us know. I mean, maybe we can get some ideas and actually participate in something different, and maybe we'll talk about that. Then you'd be like, oh my god, they're talking about my thing. They're not popular, but they did. So you'll be on the internet, kind of.
Kinda.
We've actually kind of had a long week, a lot of work and whatnot. It's been longer days. Like I said, I had to paint a bedroom, and that wasn't all great, but whatever. It was easy, but whatever.
Yeah.
So we're kind of tired and kind of rushing through this one, I guess you could say. But in this episode, we're actually going to put bloopers at the end because we definitely have some of those for this one.
Oh my god, we messed up so bad that first.
So there's going to be a tiny bit of bloopers up front or in the back of the show. So if you make it to the end, bonus. But yeah, comment below with what your hobbies are. What do you like to do? And that'd be great. We need some feedback. We need awesome. And let us know how we did. That's always good too. Let us know if you liked it, what we did wrong, if we did anything good or bad, what you don't want to hear, what you want to hear.
Criticism is perfectly fine with us. We don't mind hearing it, really. No one's been posting anything.
Yeah.
So
we feel like we let you down.
Don't get me wrong, I love good feedback and positive stuff and people, saying, yeah, you guys are doing great and whatnot, but we do also need, people to tell us what we can improve.
I'm going to keep doing this anyway. Even if the shows get shorter and shorter, 10 minutes a day, whatever. But we're going to keep doing this because I enjoy it. Even if Celeste backs out at one point, I'll keep going. Because this is actually a hobby and a good pastime. And I get to waste an hour of my day talking to a screen.
That's kind of something to look forward to at the end of every week, though. I mean, throughout the week, you're thinking, well, what can I talk about? What's some possible
it
topics?
keeps my brain busy.
Exactly.
So that'll be fun. Yeah. Comment below. We didn't get much feedback. I know some of you guys are busy and whatnot, but get the chance. I mean, it's not too long. I do it at work, and that's another good hobby, doing this, listening to these. I listen to podcasts all the time, religiously, trying to catch up to, recent episodes and past episodes. So I think that's a good hobby.
Yeah.
Or pastime, I guess. But I listen to it at work, and sometimes people get annoyed because I'm, listening, and they think I'm not listening to them, but I am. That's like we mentioned before, I have a problem with acknowledging.
Uh-huh.
So that's a hobby I choose to do. Don't acknowledge. How good can I be at not acknowledging?
You're already mastered it.
Mastered. See, she's on my side.
That doesn't mean I'm on your side. That just means I know how good you are at it. Not necessarily a good thing.
Anyway, this is test episode number 4. Number 5 And then we're gonna settle with a name for the non-test episode. So the episode number 6 will be our first. It'll be the exact same thing you're listening to now, just we'll have an official title that we're gonna put in.
And at that point, we're probably going to be starting over at episode number 1, number 2, whatever, since these are test episodes.
Well, we will. There'll be episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, but I mean, technically you'll see video number 6 on our YouTube page.
Yeah. Either way.
And we're gonna work on a way that you guys can just download this as like an MP3 and listen to it without having to go to YouTube, without having to have your phone run the internet. You can just download it real quick and bam, there you go. So we'll look for ways to do that for you guys. Don't not promise anything like for the next episode, but we'll come up with that soon. That actually concludes episode number 4, test episode number 4, I guess you could say, of the Nameless Show.
That one.
So, I guess share your hobbies. Comment below. Like, share, love it, leave it, pop it, boot. Anyway, my suggested song. Actually, this isn't even my suggested song. This is our suggested. It's her. Celeste will give you this one. She chose it this week, and she really likes this song. So take it away. Oh, I thought you knew all this, but okay.
Oh, I definitely don't memorize the extra names at the end. I'm sorry. All I know is the main artist.
Featured song of the week that you should check out, and like I said, we don't play it. We're not going to give you a link or anything, but it's for you to look up, for you to listen to, and for you to enjoy on your own. So
so this week's feature song is called "Find You." It's by Zed featuring Matthew. What is that? Coma and Miriam Bryant.
Yeah, Matthew Coma and Miriam Bryant. Both great vocalists. Zed is a great DJ artist. He's got a lot of songs out, Clarity, and you just check him out. I think he's a good DJ. He's not so like but he is
a lot of dance.
Yeah, he's good dance music. There's good vocals. He's always got good vocalists in his tracks.
And this song is kind of similar to Clarity in the sense that it's a little more serious, but it still has that dance element to it. But I really enjoyed this one a lot for the lyrics. The lyrics weren't necessarily the chorus it has its own particular meaning that's a little more forthcoming, but the verses were almost just. It was something that you could come up with your own meaning for, The meaning behind them was subjective. So I kind of liked that about it. I like that you could get your own meaning from it, or you had to try to think about it to really figure out exactly what he's talking about. But either way, it was just a good song. It gives you a good vibe, good feel. I thought it was a good one. I enjoyed it.
So check out Zed, Find You, featuring Matthew Coma and Miriam Bryant, and dance your ass off. If not, whatever you do, I guess. Touch so. Anyway, that's it for test episode number 4. I'm Shawn.
I'm Celeste.
And we're out. Welcome back, everybody, to another great episode of Shawn and Celeste's Little Talk Show. We are here today on 5/8/2015.
Yeah, because it's like back in school, you have to date it at the top.
I'm done.
No, motherfucker, you keep going.
We can crop it out in post.
These will be the bloopers.
We're going to do that now. These are going to be outtakes at the end of the episode, be after the credits.
All of our stupid screw-ups when we started.
That's actually a good idea. At the end of the show, we just crowd everything out. We don't want to stick it in the back.
Only if it's relevant.
Intro number 2. Welcome back, everybody, to Shawn. Take 3. As soon as the giggles wear off.
You started this. It's all your fault.
We're not getting anywhere.
But now I can't stop.
Blow it away.
Yeah.
Take 3. Welcome back, everybody.
You give me that damn look.
Get out of the room. Oh, there's 5 minutes of beginning intro. We can't get right.
Beginning dumbassery. Oh no.
The time is 9:43. Okay, let's see if I can get through this intro.
Alright.
Take 4. Welcome back, everybody, to Shawn and Celeste's Little Talk Show. Test episode number 4, where we're going to talk about some hobbies. Some hobbies that we all know and love.
Maybe.
Maybe. Giggling is not a hobby. But first, we want to share some announcements with you in our segment we call the announcements.
No way.
Anyway, starting soon, I'll be putting pictures up of my scores. I start a in-house pool league tournament here at a local black sheep. Have you any wool? I have no words today.
I know, I can tell.
We're gonna let Celeste host this.
Okay. I don't know what you were trying to announce.
There you go.
Oh my god. Where do you even have your announcements?
A's for announcements, and then so on.
It don't make no sense.
Well, there's an A, there's an A, there's an A.
Oh, okay. Alright, so starting out, Shawn decided to start a little pool league over at a local ball cart called... I was doing so well. You could almost swear we were drunk.
We're not even close.
Keep your foot over there. My foot's cold. Okay. Stop laughing.
We're gonna have a big outtake section.
Stop laughing.
I can't help it. You know what?
I'm trying to start this. No.
Okay, we should get me a Mountain Dew and I'll occupy my mouth.
You can drink my flat Pepsi. Don't you still have water?
I do, but I want a caffeinated item.
You like it? Here,
I don't want your Pepsi.
Flat Pepsi.
I don't want your Pepsi. Talk to the camera for a moment.
You want me to move on with announcements while you run?
Talk to the microphone.
Talk to the microphone. What to talk about? Well, let's see. A lot of times in my life, I tend to wonder, am I really going in... Oh, first world problems. There are no Mountain Dews in the fridge.
Alright, sad day.
You big baby, you could easily just take one out of the damn
Yeah.
carton.
If it's not like chilled, it's not that great.
Just grab a Rockstar.
No, I'm saving it for tomorrow. I gotta work unlike some people I know. I'm talking about other people I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You work on Saturdays sometimes.
Every other week.
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Alright.
Take 10.
It's actually 4.
No. I say take 10, it's take 10.
Fine.
No,
Do you still want me to make an announcement?
I got this.
Okay. Then you do want to have your book back.
Okay.